went to prison. I'd done a lot of bad things in my life. I forgave myself. When I got out, I asked her for, when she's ready to forgive me. She said she did forgive me. Apparently not, because now I'm Shireen. I'm not mommy no more.
Sorry. $3 in a pack of cigarettes is what they killed my son for.
In this episode, a woman searched for her father after spending years in foster care.
You claim your mother, Ms. Nasiri-Poor, lost you to foster care and left you torn between two fathers.
Mr. Tucker claims that he was told he may not be the father when he wanted to claim her at a court hearing.
Now, Ms. Markham Love's other potential father, Mr. Golston, questions paternity, and we'll hear the results of both of the DNA tests shortly.
She revealed that her childhood was a nightmare.
Got put in foster care, had to live with complete strangers. I don't have respect for authority or anyone telling me what to do. I found out at 12 that Myron here, Mr. Tucker, may not be my father.
Here's how she found out.
Shireen had told my grandma.
Ms. Nasiri-Poor.
Ms. Nasiri-Poor told my grandmother, and it was related to me.
And so when you heard that, what did you think?
I felt hurt and betrayed and lost with emotion.
Mr. Tucker admitted that he was under the impression that she was his daughter.
When I got a letter in the mail stating that my daughter was in foster care, and I went to Sacramento to go to court to try to get her, the Nasiri-Poor stood up and said that I might not be the father.
The mother thinks otherwise.
When I found out I was pregnant, I was 4 months pregnant. I told Myron it could be between him and another man. I never gave no name. He left me and went to LA. I did tell him that it could be between two guys. Just like Brittany's hurt. Brittany's torn apart.
No, but
I did not want her to know none of this until she was able to understand it.
Why didn't he take the test if he wanted it to be done that early?
So in your mind, you were the father. There was no reason to take a test.
Your
Exactly.
Honor, at
That's
7
the way
years
I still
old.
feel right.
So at that point, why not? You just said.
Because I feel in my heart that she's mine.
All right. So I see this as making you emotional.
He said he cares for her and has heard that she is going through this.
I don't want her to be in this situation.
Ms. Markham Love,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you understand that this man, whether or not he is your biological father, he hurts for you because he knows what you've been through?
The judge asked if he was involved in her life.
I was living in Bakersfield with him, and then when I turned 5, we moved to Sacramento, and he continued to reside in Bakersfield. When I got put in foster care at 7, he was granted visitations with me, and the last time I seen him was when I was 9.
Everything was going well for Mr. Tucker until she dropped this bomb on the court.
I don't know, he's playing basketball. He went and got married at his reception. So that's when it all fell apart, and I still accepted it.
So wait, you all living together as a family.
Yes, we
With
were.
a beautiful baby.
Yes, we were.
Here's his defense.
Just on me.
Not once, but twice.
You talking about, you cheated on me with a pizza guy, though.
You were in LA. You said you were living in LA.
She accepted it.
So
I was in love with him the whole time, and I'm still probably in love with him.
How you was in love with me and you cheated on me with a
How did I
pizza
cheat
guy?
on you? You weren't even there.
She said she had since asked her daughter for forgiveness, but never got it.
I went to prison. I'd done a lot of bad things in my life. I forgave myself. When I got out, I asked her for, when she's ready to forgive me. She said she did forgive me. Apparently not, because now I'm Shireen. I'm not mommy no more.
Before the results, Judge Lauren Lake asked what their hopes were.
Hope for today.
I just want closure. So if Mr. Tucker is my father, I know his family. If Mr. Goldstein is my father, I would want to know his family.
That she has closure. I'm just doing this for her so she'll know. In my heart, I feel like she's my daughter anyway.
My hope today is for Brittany to be happy and know who her father is. And
It's time for the results.
It has been determined that Mr. Golston is not her father. In the case of Markham Love v. Tucker Golston, as it pertains to 22-year-old Brittany Markham Love, Mr. Tucker, you are not her father.
Ms. Quills revealed that she had 2 other potential fathers tested, and that this is her last hope.
Have relations with one another, and that particular night we did. That's why it happened that one time.
So it was one night?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's it?
Yes, ma'am.
This wasn't a relationship that continued on?
No.
Check out the potential grandmother's testimony.
Do you have any recollection at all of Miss Quiller?
Yes, I do. She used to sit on my porch and talk to me all the time.
Really?
Yes. Nothing. She's really a good person, So when she finally did tell me that I had to maybe possibly have a grandchild, I asked where she was. It was like an electric shock went through my body, like it was meant to be.
She would reveal that her daughter deserves to know who her father is.
I feel like Nora deserves to know who her father is. I had the opportunity to meet my father when I was 17, and we have each other's number, and we still don't conversate with one another. I feel like Melissa deserves to know if she has a grandchild or not, and if she has another sibling or aunts and uncles.
Miss Nora never denied paternity.
When I spoke with her and told her it's a possibility that Charlie could be the father of my child, she looked at her, she picked her up, and she just burst into tears.
And at that point, she told you that her son...
She looked at her and she said, "This is my grandbaby."
And so when you saw this beautiful baby, you said, "This is my grandbaby"?
I just knew that she was my granddaughter.
Here's what happened to the potential father.
My son was killed in a home invasion. My son was shot 2 times in his chest with an Afghanistan rifle. And
I'm so
they killed
sorry.
$3 in a pack of cigarettes what they killed my son for.
She brought a witness to court.
What is it that you know about this situation?
Well,
Were
I
you
mean-
ever aware that potentially there was another child on the way?
When he died, my son was the only child that was stated of him having. And we didn't know anything about this little girl or her mother, but I knew about all the females, but Miss Quiller was never mentioned. She was never at all mentioned.
She doesn't see any similarity.
You don't see a similarity.
No, ma'am, not at all.
And you feel as if your son definitely favors his father.
My son, definitely, that's definitely, and that's no DNA needed. That's 1,000% sure his son.
Another witness came in for her testimony.
Desmond Briggs
And your relationship to...
and Charlie Jones Jr. the third, that's my brother.
So you were not aware of your brother's relationship with Miss Quiller either?
I mean, he told me about her, but
He did?
He didn't know anything about a baby.
Never knew anything about a child?
No.
It's time for the results.
It has been determined by this court. Ms. Briggs, you are not her grandmother. So sorry.